chat, ONPASSIVE weekly chat with Engineer Mike OJONGTAMBIA. We are on session number 96 today, and it is a very exciting day. Today is the 31st of August, 2023. Wow, what an awesome day. It has been an awesome day. The whole week has been so fired up in ONPASSIVE world, and we are still getting so many indications that before in an hour's time from now, we'll be having our CEO again coming out for more excitement. Are you excited? What is your excitement? So, for tonight, our topic is again how is unpassive different? We'll be having the um, this should be part three of it. Okay, we're having a special guest whom I don't have that powers to introduce him here tonight. I will leave that to our able moderator for tonight. Today, there's a change of a change in everything. Our moderator for tonight will be a different person, and you will learn about the person right away. But on the panel, I'm having our Queen sister Jennifer Dickinson from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'm having my own Queen Smile, Dr. Benny Blessing Tinglet from Chevy Chase, Maryland, USA. And my sister, um, Queen Naka Awili from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'm also having Dr. John Ajongwen, wow, with us tonight, and he will be our moderator. What a privilege to have all the doctors here for tonight. I'm also having our sister Joyce Hicks. She's coming on, fixing her system. She will be right here with us in a couple of minutes. So we will just hand it over now to our able moderator for tonight, Dr. John Ajongwen. Welcome, Dr. John. You will be the person to introduce our special guest for tonight. I don't have that power to do that. So welcome, Dr. John. Thank you, sir.
Good evening. Thank you, Engineer Mike, and good evening to everybody who is online. Good evening to our great panelists, to our queens and our kings on the panel. We're really excited today that you're able to join us for session number 96 of the weekly chats with Engineer Mike OJONGTAMBIA. And as he had introduced, we have part 3 of how different is ONPASSIVE. And for this particular session, we're blessed to have one of our ONPASSIVians, a leader in ONPASSIVE in his own right, somebody who is not only an ONPASSIVian, but as you get to know a bit more, is somebody that you need to know. So our special guest this evening is no other person than Dr. Georgie Mbianda. Dr. Mbianda was born in Cameroon, where he grew up there, and I would describe him as a global citizen. You understand a bit more because he didn't only grow up in Cameroon, but he's lived in South Africa, Italy, Spain, and now in the United States, where he is a citizen. Those are the places that I was able to glimpse as his stops. So my guess is that he's actually been and many other places that he's going to share with us. He's a loving husband and a father of 6. He calls himself an entrepreneur and an investor. But I want to really say that this guy is nothing of what he describes himself as an entrepreneur or as an investor, but that he is really what I will call a bookworm. Why do I say he's a bookworm? Well, let me just list a couple of things just to bring him up, to bring you up to speed with who our special guest today is. He is somebody who we can call a master doctor. What do I mean by that? He had his first degree in physics and computer sciences from the University of Buea in Cameroon, a postgraduate diploma in mathematical sciences from the University of Cape Town in South Africa. So you see, that's one of his first stops. Then he had a master's degree in nuclear physics. Think about it. Nuclear physics, we don't have a lot of them on the surface of the globe. From the University of Witwatersrand in South Africa. Then he went ahead and he had a master's in engineering, in material engineering from the Università di Bologna in Italy. Not satisfied with that, he had another master's in material engineering again at Universidad Politécnica de Valencia in Spain, and then decided to leave Europe to Uncle Sam land, where he decided to have a master's in physics at the Old Dominion University in Virginia, here in the United States. Are you guys tired of the masters? I think at this point he got tired of the masters and decided to get a PhD in nuclear physics from Old Dominion University in Virginia. So one of the things I'm going to beg you, my brother, is that before you leave today, can you just share some of those masters to some of us? Okay. He's somebody, as you will rarely see, studying in these many places. He can speak all these other languages that he's been. He doesn't list Afrikaans as one of them, but I'll add that to his French, English, Spanish, Italian. And the thing that I found kind of interesting in him is that he's got both academic and industrial or corporate experience. One of his last corporate experiences was really working as a process engineer with Intel. So not a lot of people make it to Intel. So for you to get somebody who was there leading teams and designing some of the top little processors and high-tech stuff that we use, it's really impressive. I also found out, trying to read in his background, that one of the things that he probably mentioned or not that he finds ONPASSIVE as being important is to do with the fact that Academy is coming up, because through some of his jobs or some of his clubs, like one of them, I don't know what the heck it is, but it's called a Cheeky Scientists Association. He's been involved with a lot of educational endeavors, and I think he would probably be waiting for Academy to come so he can really push that further. But that said, one of the main things that really struck me when I was trying to find out a bit more information about him is what he puts in his profile. And it says, always open for a conversation. Well, Dr. Mbianda, we are blessed that you're open for a conversation. And this evening, we would really love for you to have a conversation with those of us on the panel, as the other people that are online, as you share with us how different you feel ONPASSIVE is, especially as somebody who has brought a lot of people into ONPASSIVE. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. It's very like you did some research there, right? Because I remember when Engineer Mike invited me, he asked me to give something about my background, and I gave something brief just to avoid that. I mean, to avoid those other things you listed. But I'm quite impressed that you took the time to do some research, and you are correct all along. Thank you. I mean, I'm surrounded here by these beautiful panelists, very, very, very trustworthy people in ONPASSIVE. I'm happy to be among your midst. So I was invited today to talk about how different ONPASSIVE is. So the way I will go about this discussion is I will start by briefly introducing ONPASSIVE, like what is ONPASSIVE. So as we know, in its core, ONPASSIVE is an information technology company that creates fully automated digital products using the latest artificial intelligence and machine learning software technologies. Another thing I want to talk about is the brain and mind behind ONPASSIVE, who is Mr. Ash Mufare. We are going to meet him in under an hour very soon. He is a genius and a bearer of a gigantic heart. All of you will testify to that. So I can say we can give our incessant gratitude that goes to him and his family. So why am I hinting about what ONPASSIVE is and who is its inventor? This is to set the premise for how ONPASSIVE stands out, right? Because that's the topic Engineer Mike invited me to talk about today. And you are saying that this is the third part. So, of course, we may have several parts of this because it's very lengthy, right? So, what I've decided to do, I'm sure for the first two parts you have had, the list has certainly was certainly very long. And today, because of the urgency we have to meet with our CEO, I've decided to just list out 10 points, right? How we can, but it cannot be exhaustive. That one is clear. We can also expand on these points and we can create several episodes based on just how different ONPASSIVE is from other companies that deal with IT. So first off, what ONPASSIVE is doing is unprecedented. That one is clear. And there is a shift in paradigm that ONPASSIVE is bringing from the old internet to a new internet. So that I can say that as the first point, right? So for the second point, ONPASSIVE is different in the fact that the principal objective, one of the principal objective, is to use the sophisticated technology of artificial intelligence and machine learning, or those technologies, to bring forth solutions that will help generate a global stimulus plan. When we say, you remember during COVID, like in the United States, the government was handing out stimulus checks to uh, take care of families that some people lost their jobs and things like that. So imagine this in a larger scale. ONPASSIVE is bringing a situation where it is not just handing out uh, these stimulus checks, no, but it is teaching people how to get the checks, right? So that it keeps their dignities, not just handing them handouts, if I can put that. I can say it gives them the tool to create those stimulus packages to assist them to help themselves and their families. The third point I can point out is that the company, with its ecosystem, which we call the OES, that will become a household name, is solution oriented, right? It is not just solely profit based. We can expand on that based on the fact that it has been 5 years now that our CEO and his support is spending enormous income, enormous amount of money without generating profit, just to make these tools that will serve humanity. So it's clear that it's not a profit-based company, or solely a profit-based company. Following that, that's why ONPASSIVE provides over market value products at low cost, right? High value products at very low cost. Fifth point is that ONPASSIVE is a one-stop shop for all our internet needs. Nothing like that exists. ONPASSIVE is the first company that will be a one-stop shop. So if ONPASSIVE will not provide the products that you need on the internet, then you probably wouldn't need that product. Point number 6 is that one can say much about a company by the quality of people it attracts. You cannot talk about ONPASSIVE without talking about its founders, without talking about the users that it will be attracting, right? And as of this point, we can talk about the founder. So ONPASSIVE has attracted decent people from over 200 countries and from all walks of life. That is one point that sets us apart. The seventh point is the warm and positive energy radiated from our selfless CEO, Mr. Ash Mufare, that has initiated a spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood amongst the brand ambassadors, or what we can say the early adopters of the ONPASSIVE vision. That is point number 7. We can always expand on this. Point number 8 is that this is the only company to date that has more than 2 million ready customers before releasing a paid product. We have not had a paid product yet. They have more than 2 million people that are ready. I'm not talking here about potential customers. For potential customers, we're talking about the billions of those who are using the internet. Point number 9 is that clients may not only be limited to use ONPASSIVE products, but may opt to become affiliates and have an automated business run for them by the company. So you come to this company, you purchase a product, then you have the possibility not only to use this very sophisticated product that are made easy for you at a low cost, but you also have the possibility to start a business without learning additional skills. Then the 10th point, which will relate to what Engineer Mike said earlier before this started, is that we are going to meet our CEO in maybe under 30 minutes, is that we have frequent, the CEO of our company has frequent meetings with the brand ambassadors, and that's not something you find in other companies. As the person who introduced me indicated, I was in the corporate world, and I remember, like, if you want to see, there is something we call the skip level, right? So, like, my immediate boss, I may meet my immediate boss maybe a week or so. But if I want to see the boss of my boss, it may take like 6 months. They will schedule a skip level meeting just to see the boss of my boss. So imagine this hierarchy that happens before it reaches the CEO. So you can be in the corporate world. If you are not one of the people that works close to the CEO, you may even go through a year without seeing your CEO. So that is really something which is unprecedented. So, and during these meetings, we have updates from our CEO and we have fun with him. So I will end there and I will allow the rest of the panelists either to expand on this or ask me questions that may prop up from what I've listed. Thank you very much for inviting me in this platform, and we look forward to have a very pleasurable time for this last maybe 20 or 30 minutes or so that we shall have before joining our CEO. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow, wow. You know, it's been a long time that I took notes and I had to write really fast. And you can see my pen, I was like trying to capture, since you see, you can see that this is somebody who's in education. He started off by prompting us and say, guys, be prepared to note down 10 things. So normally I'm so scattered, so I just start going and then I say, oh my God, I don't have enough space. So I actually had to start numbering them and make sure that as we're going through, I pick them. Thank you very much, Dr. Mbianda, for throwing those points out, because I think there's some of them that my guess is that we have sort of touched on them in a different way. And some of them, obviously, the way that you put them, you've actually put a different spin to the whole thing. I just remember we came out from one other webinar, and ironically, your second point, which was really the idea of bringing forth this AI and machine learning solutions, which are going to provide a global stimulus to people around the world. The important underlining part being the idea that it's not just one of these charities that's going to throw something over the fence, but that is going to teach people how to actually get that stimulus check. It really sets ONPASSIVE aside. And thank you for bringing that up, because I think when we just had another meeting with Jeffrey Mollock, he brought this idea, and I remember making a note of that. So I got that stimulus twice now. So I got 2 stimulus checks in my hands. And I just want to thank you for that. Every one of those points, I think, is really important. And thank you again. And what I want to do is, rather than call on any particular person in any order, I want to just open it to the panelists. I hope that each of you took your own notes. I'm going to probably say, can you talk on point number 7? And if you didn't write your numbers down, then shame on you. No, I'm not going to put you that way. But what I want is each person that really resonated with one of those points that Dr. Mbianda put forward, and you want to either ask a question or you want to expand on them, please just unmute and let's have like a free discussion. If nobody jumps in, I'm gonna nominate as I was nominated tonight.
Well, I will jump in, and Dr. John, thank you so much. Good
Thank
to be
you.
back and good to see everyone. Hello to all of our beautiful panelists. And Dr. George, what an awesome, awesome presentation. I loved everything that you said. And but one thing that you said, that we were going to create a global stimulus for the world. I mean, that is huge. Like you said, in the U.S., the government provided a stimulus to all the families that were suffering during the pandemic. But that was just in a small part of the world. But here it is that OnPassive is going to do this for over 200 countries, for people, for millions of people that will be blessed, not with just one stimulus check, but a stimulus to last for a lifetime. So that is so huge. When you said that, I just loved it. It was like, yes, what an awesome thing for a company to do, and for Mr. Ashmafara to take us on board and to help let us be a part of that. I mean, you said so much that was so wonderful. It's just uplifting humanity and teaching people to fish and to be sufficient, that we don't have to go out and give someone something, but now we'll be able to give them a business, an opportunity to be sufficient and to be productive. Wow, it's like we are, just putting everyone on a level playing field, which is so important, that in other opportunities there was not that chance, that there was always this person at the top. But on Pacifists put everyone on a level playing field to be able to win, that we all will win. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or anything like that. And I just love that. But thank you so much. We're winning and everyone is equal, and there's no big I's and little U's. But you said so much. It's like just teaching everyone to be like I say, sufficient, but then also having that platform for education, to educate everyone in any way that is needed, and we'll be able to reach so many people and be able to lift up humanity, to bless millions of people with so much, that opportunities that they've never had before. But again, thank you so much. I really enjoyed you, and it's so glad being on the panel with you and everyone. And Dr. John, I always enjoy you and listening to you as well. So thank you, guys. We're ready, and let's
You
see.
were on point. Thank you.
Woohoo.
You were. I agree with you 100%.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Queen. Queen Benny, Queen Naka, come on down. I think there's some other people. Jennifer.
All right. I know that you know that I always go last because it takes me time to say certain things. Oh, what happened with my background? Can
Just
someone proceed, or you want me to my
just go for
background?
it, dear.
I'll go.
Yes, because
Go. Let me look
we
for my
wanna
background.
maximize the time before we.
Okay. Wow. Thank you, Dr. John. Thank you, Engineer Mike, for this panel. Wow. What a incredible evening. Excitement in the air. We are waiting for, the CEO to come talk to us. And then another excitement because I see Dr. Georgie here. I'm so honored to be on this panel with him again because we've been working together for years now. N'est-ce pas, Dr. Georgie? And very humble person, very
Indeed,
humble.
indeed.
And, his background, we heard it. But despite all this, he's very humble and willing to work with everyone. And he never refused. I sometimes send him messages, nights, always respond. Thank you, Dr. Georgie, for everything you do for French community. We really appreciate your work and your collaboration. Thank you so much. Um,
Thank you. That could not be done without your support and many others.
okay.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
We appreciate that. Thank you. Well, we heard everything you did in life. What a background. Wow, impressive. Yeah, the first time I met him, I heard his PhD, and I'm like, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Very impressive. So there is another thing I think which was mentioned that you are an inventor.
Mhm.
So can you give us a little bit of insight of it? Thank you so much, Dr. Georgie.
Mm.
Oh, thank you. Maybe I didn't hear that very well, but I'm not an inventor. Maybe I was saying investor.
Investor.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
yes.
okay.
I'm not
Yeah, investor.
so,
Okay.
yeah. Like many people, we have many people who invest, right? So
Okay,
I'm just
okay,
one of
okay.
them.
Yeah.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
Can you tell us a little bit about what investment is? This only on passive, or you have something else?
On passive is our principal investment, right?
Yes,
We
yes, that's right.
invest our time, our uh, yes, our mostly our time
Mm-hmm,
right now,
mm-hmm,
right? So, but there are other investments like if you imagine on passive is one company, there are other companies that are already there that you can buy stocks and things like that. You can invest in real
mm-hmm,
estate. You can invest in crypto. There are different areas in which, I mean, that will happen very soon. Once the apples start falling in on passive, there will be diversification,
that's
right?
right.
People will not only have, even though on passive by itself is like already has diversified sources of income implanted in it because we have several products.
Mm-hmm,
Those are already diversification because we shall have O Connect, it's a source of income, O Tracker, source of income, O Academy, it's just that it's in one umbrella. So it's a similar thing, but in different areas or with different companies.
Mhm. Wow. Thank
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Georgie.
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Queen,
And I
the,
just want to take this occasion to say thank you to Mr. Ashmufare and his team. Thank you to all the leaders who are working tirelessly to help other people, and together we will win. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my
Indeed,
sister. Thank
winning.
you, Queen. Queen Jennifer was in. Is she still? I'm just seeing, but without the picture.
I don't see Jane anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
she just told that she had technical, she's going in to come back in. So
Okay. Thank you for
Okay.
that. Dr. B, you ready?
Yes, sure.
Go for
At
it,
least
dear.
my background. I would say magnificent presentation, Dr. G. Mbianda. Before I proceed, I want to welcome each and everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to my queens and kings around the globe. To tell the truth, I have queens and kings here. This is the only company that I know, that I believe, and I trust in it. I just want to take this moment to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing all of us together. I want to thank Him for bringing someone who loves you and I, a visionary, who decided to share his vision. And He knows that by Him sharing His vision, you and I will go out there and share it. And his name is Mr. Ash Mafare. He stated that either I do or I die, because the force talked to him. And I don't know if you guys do know that ONPASSIVE is being owned by God. But God decided, He said, Mr. Ash Mafara, I want you to control this. And he accepted, because Mr. Ash says the force talked to him all the time. And I want to thank each and everyone. Dr. Bienda, our CEO chose you to be one of our leaders that time. But what I've noticed about you, like every day, oh my ears, you keep sending sending messages. You are something else.
Yes.
But I mean, I've been watching you since with the Tong Tong Tala, when I was attending webinars with him. That was when I knew you. You have been working so hard here, and I want to thank you for that. You made a statement about that the company has its own OES. As we all know that the OES, yes, it comprises of all the solutions, because we moved from Go Founder to O Founder, and then to OES. That is where, which is the one-stop shop, right? Yes. Thank you for that. I want to thank you for all the 10 points, despite the fact that I wrote some, and you stated that we have 2 million customers waiting for us. Are you serious? That means I'm going to have customers. Are you kidding me? Everybody will have customers, right? Thank you. Sorry, I don't have to be screaming. I really want to thank our CEO for what he has been doing. Now, the question is this. Doctor, I don't know whoever brought you here. So why did you really join ONPASSIVE? Why did you choose to join ONPASSIVE? Or why did you believe the person who introduced ONPASSIVE to you? And why are you still here to today, when some brand ambassadors decided, because they were impatient, they decided to leave? Why are you still here?
That's a very interesting question. Yeah, there is something like you asked that, why did I believe the person, right? Yeah, so I can say it's a brother that introduced me to ONPASSIVE. So actually, is a cousin to Mr. Charles. So I just call him a brother because we were close for quite a time, because we studied in the same high school or secondary school. They call it high school here. And when he told me about it, somehow he didn't tell me clearly, right? He just introduced it, but I think he misspoke. He used a word like, which sounded to me like telecom or something like that. And so I didn't pay attention. So I was thinking about some hardware kind of thing, cables and things like that, you know. So I was thinking, okay, maybe he's talking about implanting some poles in Africa and have some form of telecom signals transferred to other regions. Then later on, if you know Senge is one of the leaders, because at that time I was also focused on building like funnels online for a prior business I had for a medical device. So Senge saw me doing either a video like a live Facebook stream or something like that. Then she mentioned that, wow, it seems as if I have not heard about ONPASSIVE, because it was unbelievable to her. Like, she realized that probably I have not heard about ONPASSIVE, and she was shocked. So she called me, mentioned ONPASSIVE, and it just sounded like what I wanted. So at that point, I went back to that my brother's message. I mean, Mr. Charles Osong's cousin, and I registered directly. I didn't want to even get more information. So once I registered, I was in the back office. At that time, as you said, it was Go Founders. Then I saw the first two clips that there were two clips from Ash Mufari. It was just his voice was playing in the background and there were some images, right? When I heard those two clips, I was hooked just from the energy that radiated from the voice of Mr. Ash. It was beyond just what he was saying, right? I trusted what he was saying, and I trusted the person saying it without seeing him visually, just from the way he sounded. And that's how I became hooked. Then from that point on, I got exposed to Mari Digamo, Mike Ellis, and several other people, Jeffrey Mollock, making presentations, having some YouTube videos. And that was it. That was all. And mind you, at that point, we just had Go Founders. We just had the the list of things that will go on. So you ask that, why am I still here? I'm still here because of the trust and the belief. And later at this stage now, we are already playing with the products, you know. So there's no way if you had been there just from listening to the message, then you upgraded to playing with some tools, then you upgraded to having some additional products coming in the back office, or transitioning from Go Founders to O Founders, and now to the ecosystem. How come will you not? I mean, there are companies that have just existed for few months, maybe not. If some have stayed for long, it's 6 months, and their web pages disappear. Right? They actually had something. They actually, maybe there is some transaction of money and things going on, but they were not meant to last for long, right? But ONPASSIVE, we saw it being birthed, and it has been here for 5 years. It will be insane for somebody to reach at this stage and walk off. Thank you for that question.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, King Mbianda. I love that response. And the word I kept hearing is the word engagement, that you have been engaged, you have been enjoying the journey. And once you are engaged and you're enjoying the journey, you probably don't even realize you've been on any journey. Queen Benny, thanks for also bringing up that question. And I'm going to also I think I have two more people that haven't spoken. Dr. P, can you unmute yourself? Just express which of the 10 points you found exciting to you. And then let's also hear from our host before 11 o'clock kicks us out.
Thank you. And when I had Dr. Bianda credentials, I said, okay, I think I have to get up my slumber. I was actually I was actually in my sleeping mode, right? And I'm like, wow, this credential, I think, is something that I have to come and tap on some of it, right? And the 10 points, wonderful points about automated business, more than 2 million ready customer, not potential customer. The quality of people on passive attract, starting from the founders, from your background, we can see that quality. Because somebody actually said that. I'm actually amazed that people with this caliber are believing in this thing, this scam. So today, I see the caliber of people from your background, one-stop shop solution, over market products, tools to sell for humanity, solutions that are what we're oriented in solution, not profit. But one of the things you said that I would like you just to expand on is the new internet. You said ONPASSIVE is bringing a new internet to replace the old internet. If you can just expand on that a little bit, and I know we're running out of time. If you can just give us a brief, Engineer Mike, we need to bring him back when we're not rushing. Okay, we need to pick on this brain. When earlier your credential took 30 minutes to read, so you have to come back. But if you can just give us a quick elaboration on what you meant by new internet versus old internet, and
Yes. Yes, I can just give one example there, like the fact that we have a one-stop shop. Because if you look at the way the other companies are doing, they provide just a bit to make maximum amount of profit, right? That's just one example. Then ONPASSIVE is coming and integrating um, all these digital tools that could just be existing separately, right, under one umbrella, and seamlessly connected to each other. You have just a single sign-on. So that's one of the things that can give you the idea that is the new internet. ONPASSIVE is bringing in the new internet. Then, in addition to this, you see that 5 years, ONPASSIVE has its own media. We call it the old media now. That has been doing a lot of campaigns and providing content of value, right? Incessantly, constantly, talking about blockchain, talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, marketing. Those are things that have been given out freely, right, for all these years. So imagine those who become affiliated with ONPASSIVE. They don't need to go and have a different platform in which they have to create content or pay for someone to create content. They don't have to go and learn all the process to become good copywriters. Things like that are other examples of why I say ONPASSIVE is introducing this paradigm shift. I don't want to go into details about the marketing aspect, like the funnels, right? Having traffic sent to pages, having these pages built, having follow up, right, from top to bottom, or from bottom to top. ONPASSIVE will be taken care of and not charging uh, like frivolous sums of money like the other companies are doing.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yes. So when you just use the two words new internet, it's a loaded one. So now I strongly believe that we're gonna have at least another 4 sessions, and we'll pick just one or two of those topics and just blow them up in an hour's session. I'm looking at the time, and I know that everybody is anxiously waiting for the next webinar. And the less I speak, the happier you'll be for me. So I'm gonna pause here, and I would ask Engineer Mike that after this part 3 of how different ONPASSIVE is, what were your expectations and what were you really thinking?
Welcome, 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 everybody. Dr. Georgie Biada, I want to just thank you. In French, he has his name in the French community. They call him La Force Tranquille, right?
Mm-hmm.
So La Force Tranquille means a gentleman, a complete gentleman, not only a gentleman, a complete gentleman. He walks behind the scene a lot with a lot of people. We just want to say thank you, Dr. Georgie. Thank you for coming, honoring our invitation to be here with us today. This is where we hang out. So, but if you look at it on the panel, Dr. Georgie, you've pulled out how many doctors, right? So you alone with all the masters, we can share the masters for all of us here. All of us take one of it. Then you have Dr. Pat, you have Dr. John, you have yourself, you have Dr. Benny. How many doctors? Great doctors, great leaders in ONPASSIVE. That's what you attract. What you do attract a lot of people, and they come to be with you all the time. We just want to say thank you. Now, Dr. John, when I look at everything that Dr. Georgie break it down to us in those 10 points, I want to associate it with something. I want to associate all what our special guest just gave us tonight with our ONPASSIVE business module. If you remember our business module, we have 5 major points in our business module. So we start by talking about our tools. We have 50 plus tools right there in one shop that he told us. Single sign-on, boom, you are right in the shop, right? Now, the next thing is the traffic. Our CEO will be sending us targeted traffic, which comes into our website, and the people will purchase, and that purchase will lead to revenue, right? Sales, then sales to revenue. Now, then again, cost. Our systems or our solutions are very pocket friendly. You can't beat that. We are coming into the market in this version of that we have the recess, economic recess in everywhere with a business solution that everybody needs in a very pocket friendly manner. Can you imagine? Do the maths. Now, we have the fourth business model, which is automation. He said it. Everything is automated. Just imagine that you want to type out long things and you make a lot of mistakes. All the automation is to avoid all of these these mistakes, right? To avoid all the mistakes. Automation, everything. You don't need to do much. The system is clean and doing everything for you. Then we want to talk about the last feed point in our business module, which is revenue. So revenue to everybody that comes to our ecosystem, be it customer, be it user, be it whoever you are, you will always get some income in your pocket. Just imagine users come and start using O Connect. They'll use O Connect for a while and it will start generating them income after some while. So our CEO makes this business platform very easy for everybody to continue to be used so that everybody should be blessed. Everybody, because remember, his main aim again, Dr. Georgie told us, is to eradicate poverty and uplift humanity, which is our goal, which is that is what brought all of us here in ONPASSIVE towards that goal. Remember again, we are going to have our own data centers. Okay, these data centers will be having our own server farms, which will help to secure our data. Remember, data is currency to all online marketing, right? So data is currency to digital marketing, and every company needs this data. But ONPASSIVE, instead of using that to the disadvantage of its client, ONPASSIVE will be reserving and storing and protecting this data so that they don't be fished by the bad people out there. Can you imagine? this is all I have to say, Dr. Into the time. Thank you, Georgie, again for coming. Dr. John, you can close us if Dr. Georgie can give us a last statement. I will be fine. Thank you.
Yes, I'll just allow him, Dr. Mbianda. Thank you, and if you can just give us a closing statement, you'll be very
Yes.
appreciated. Merci pour longtemps.
Thank you very much. It was really interesting to be here. And yes, I know all of us are anxious to connect to what and listen to what the CEO is going to tell us. We are very, very close, right, to the point where everybody has been anticipating. But as usual, I would just encourage that we manage expectations because, as Engineer Mike may attest, these are technical things, right? So you never know how things may pan out. But all we know is that we are heading towards the right direction. So let's connect. It was a pleasure being here with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for the last few seconds that we have, if you can all unmute yourselves and we can all say we are in it
To win it.
We are in it to
Need
win
to
it.
win it.
Thank you.